on today's episode of DAPA.DANIEL.
And we're gonna be headed to the Liberty Master Plan Community by Hillwood. You're not gonna get your Louis Vuitton, all right? So settle down. Hovenen, Highland, more Highland, Perry. That's just the developer really wanting to pack them in and maximize profits. That I don't think that's supposed to be happening. This would lead you to the Buc-ee's, to the promised land.
So that makes sense.
Oh wow, the hair's getting a little wild over here. Oh jeez, gotta comb that thing back. All right guys, I'm parked over in a CVS parking lot, and we're gonna be headed to the Liberty Master Plan Community by Hillwood. Now this community, the people that make this, Hillwood, there's gonna be a couple different builders within here, and I'll get into details about everything, but the community is actually developed through Hillwood communities. And Hillwood, they've been doing a whole bunch of communities. I've done some tours like Pecan Square, Union Park, Bluewood, Liliana, all those neighborhoods they've been a part of. And this is just kind of not one of their newer ones, but there are some builders going back into this neighborhood. Perry Homes, Highland Homes, and Hovenen. All right, this is the section. So we're in Melissa right now. This is like the newest part of Melissa. They got all this stuff: Golden Chick, Taco Bell, Burger King, Brahms, a CVS, Wendy's, a Wingstop, Dental, Urgent Care. So they got some stuff right around here that, you know, you're not gonna get your Louis Vuitton. All right, so settle down. But you will get just your normal stuff. That way you don't have to actually travel in. And there's also the Buc-ee's that's close by. Let's not forget about that, guys. So Buc-ee's is close to here too. That's just, I throw that out there. Guys, I have a water bottle problem again. I'm just collecting bottles. So if you have some, send them my way. I will just collect them. Shout out to my mom for giving me that gene. All right, going left here into Liberty. Now, so this was established in 2004, going right in through the front here. So I'll start kind of on not quite their older side. They're gonna have some of the new homes in here, but there is a section where they have homes built from like 2004 to 2007, 2010, and then a little bit further north into the neighborhood, they have the other, the new buildings coming in. So they have like 50s, 60s, 70s in here. I'll get into the price ranges now. We are getting pretty close. Some of the price ranges, they said $500,000 to $900,000 driving in here, but they got some stuff at flown close to $1 million. Young money. Anyways, so yeah, they have some stuff up here. I don't think I'd be paying $1 million for this area quite yet, but I think 500 to 700s is reasonable. I'll get into the details about the build plans, but like I was saying, it's Hovenen, Perry Homes, and then it's also Highland Homes in here. So for the community itself, this is going to be in Collin County. You're going to be over in Melissa. This area kind of splits in two from 75 and 121. 121 kind of breaks back down into like just a very simple road once you get it go through 75. Here's their park area that we're driving through right now. They got the elementary school up on that left side. So most of these Hillwood communities, if you're one, they all call them master plan communities at the end of the day, but this one is like a true, like a real, it's real true. It's like actually what it is. Like this is what I would think of with a master plan community. You get your elementary school, you get pavilions, you get a soccer field, you get a whole bunch of stuff. Some of these other master plan communities, you get a pool. And so some people don't want that. Some people want the whole thing, right? They want the whole shebang. So this one kind of offers that, but any of the Hillwood communities are going to offer that. So if you're interested in that, Hillwood on their website, they kind of break down what other places that they're building in. They're building in a lot of places like Prosper too. All right. Now, this neighborhood, like I said, was getting built since 2004. There is some older homes in here. I didn't pull any stuff from the older homes. I'm kind of focusing more on like the new construction stuff. And then I pulled some specs from like a 2019 pre-owned that got sold in here. But anyways, the median price right now in here is going to be $695,000 to $700,000 for the new construction. The stuff that's in like 2004, 2007, that's in like the $350,000, $400,000 range in there. All right, I'm gonna just keep driving through here. We'll go by the school. It's a Sunday, so be able to drive through there without a bunch of people in the parking lot. but that was the median price active in here. For the HOA, about $700 annually, and then there's no mud. Let me show you guys the school. This is the do not enter way, but like I said, it's a Sunday, so I can do whatever I want. Okay, so this is what the school looks like. The elementary school. All right, let's go back this way. And the schools are gonna be really close to here. So Melissa is pretty new. They're not gonna have a whole bunch of schools, but the schools themselves, the high school, all that stuff is gonna be close to here. Like I said, you're right off 121 and 75. So it's pretty easy for you to jump on that and then be able to head over to like Frisco, Plano, like 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes away. Maybe 24 if you're going like 75. You drive like a Texas person. All right, so in here, you're gonna have your 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now the depth of them are gonna be about 130. So you're gonna be able to fit a pool. When I was looking at some of the houses in here, you're gonna be able to fit some of that stuff. Now, kind of just depends. Like I'm looking at that one that doesn't look like you can fit anything at all, but they are gonna have like a 130 depth. Now, depending on where you're at in the neighborhood and what part, you might get a better angle on it. All right, let's not hit the Mazda. Okay, so right now, let me break down, I'm gonna break down the build. Why am I using my blinker again? This is, you can only go left here. I'm gonna break down the new construction homes again and talk about that within here. So just focused on really new construction and quick move-ins for this one. Now, KDOT Hovinen, on the low end, they have the Laredo 7 plan. That one's starting at $490,000. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,932 square feet. And then right around the middle range, they have the Westridge plan. That's starting at $545,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,925 square feet. And then on the real high end within here, they have the Hillcrest 8 model, and that's starting at $640,000. That's a 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 3,622 square feet. Most of the KDOT Hovinen stuff, that's gonna be sitting on smaller lots. So if you're looking for like 70s, 60s, there's some stuff in here at like 85 on some of the dimensions, some of the older stuff that got built in like 2020 that I was seeing when I was looking at the lot stuff. And then into the next builder, Highland Homes. So Highland Homes on their 70s. All right, so just for their 70s, they have the plan 212 that's starting at $726,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage. And on the high end for their 70s, they have the plan 224 starting at $824,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,975 square feet. And then the 60s, there's no stop sign here, but let's just take a stop for a second. And for the 60s, the low end plan 211 starting at $634,000. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and 2,263 square feet. And then for the high end, they have the plan 222 starting at $745,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,610 square feet. Then for the 50s, for Highland Homes, they have the Camden starting at $531,000. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,629 square feet. And then on the high end, they have the Waverly plan that's starting at $631,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,965 square feet. Okay, so here's another look, a little bit more of the open area around here. They got this huge fountain on this side and walking area, pond area. Here's some of the new construction. We're just now getting into like the new construction side of things. Go this way. All right, and then for Perry Homes, for the 70s on the low end, they have the 3002W plan starting at $680,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,002 square feet. And then on the high end, they have the 4891W plan starting at $884,000. That's a 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 4,891 square feet. And then for the 60s on the low end, they have the 2943W plan starting at $661,000. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,943 square feet. And then on the high end, they have the 3560W plan starting at $782,000. That's a 4-bed, 4-bath, 3,650 square feet. All right, so I just got done saying all that stuff. Basically, all that means is that they have a lot of options in here. So they got a lot of stuff that's building right now that can be a quick move in, and then they got a lot of stuff available, floor plans. I'm gonna throw up the plat map right now. Here's the plat map for K Hovinen. the blue's showing the availability, the yellow's showing the quick move-in, and then here is for Highland Homes. The orange is showing the quick move-in, and the light red is showing the coming soon. So Perry Homes didn't really have a site plan I could pull from their website that they were showing right now, so I didn't pull anything like that. All right, just going through more of the new stuff now. Let's drive by their models on this side. Now we're into the new part of the neighborhood. And then this is gonna have plenty of amenities, trails. They got like a catch and release fishing pond. So I don't think you're gonna go wrong in here. Like I said, all these Hillwood communities do a really good job. All right, here's K.Heaven, Highland, more Highland, Perry. All right, so there you go, guys. That's where the Republic and Liberty is where they got their models on. And for what was being sold, like the average was like 230, but there was some stuff on the low end getting listed, sold at 196 to 200, all the way up to 270. It just really depends on the size of your lot and that stuff. But that's the range right now, like 490, 500, up to almost $1 million for one of the Perry home plans. It was like a 995, which that's a whole bunch. All right, let's go into this side, and then we'll go on to their flat stuff over there that they haven't even framed up yet. But here's a good example of one of the newest sections of the neighborhood right here. And then now we're into like their more available section here on what you want to buy now. It's both builders. I believe Highland Homes was offering some incentives, but like Perry Homes is offering like $20,000 in incentives for things like that during this time, or locking in a certain rate for kind of the way rates are going right now with things. So they're trying to lock people into something a little bit quicker right now. Here's where now some of these might have premiums. A lot of the neighborhoods that I talked to, most of the premium lots will be facing east. So that's just kind of the deal with that. And then whether it's a corner lot or you don't have a neighbor behind you, you also have premiums. And premiums can fluctuate anywhere from $5,000 up to $20,000 on top of your total price. All right. So that's for the homes that have sold. Now for the homes that are currently active, I just pulled like quick move-ins. So they were showing like 24 homes on the MLS. I just pulled a couple. K.Heaven was building the, hold on, let me pronounce this one, the Palmyra. Guys, I can't pronounce things right? So listed at $549,000, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,173 square feet at $253 per square foot. And then on the high end, they have the Clarendon 8 plan. That's listed at $695,000. That's a 4-bed, 3.5-bath, 3,540 square feet at $196 per square foot. So those are the homes that are gonna be floating down. Like K.Heaven, out of all the other builders, K.Heaven is gonna be like the lowest end, and then Highland and Perry. I see more problems through like Highland Homes and inspection rather than seeing Perry. Perry does an okay job finishing on time and things like that, especially earlier in like 2020, 2021 when like materials were a problem. Materials still are a problem. That's not going to be going away for a while, right? Like there's still supply issues, but Perry Homes does a pretty good job trying to finish on time with things for your closing and stuff. The next one, let's just talk about Perry Homes and what they had listed. Perry Homes had the 2695W plan listed at $696,000. That was a 4-bed, 3.5-bath, 2,695 square feet at $258 per square foot. And then on the high end, that one is the 3791W plan, and that one was listed at $909,000, 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 3,791 square feet at $238 per square foot. And then Highland Homes has the Amberley plan. That one's listed at $581,000, 3-bed, 2.5-bath, 2,103 square feet at $276 per square foot. And then on the high end for Highland Homes, the plan 224 right now listed at $975,000, 5-bed, 5.5-bath, 4,359 square feet at $223 per square foot. So that's your facts for that. All right, it seems like there's they kept the tree line on the back side, so there's plenty of homes in here listed and options for that. Doesn't seem like they got any alleyways. Everything's facing outwards. That's the other thing you guys have noticed. I see some comments. There's some neighborhoods that have the alleyways going down behind them, and then there's other neighborhoods that, you know, your mailbox is, you got to walk to it, and you're backed up to each other, right? And not adding a little bit more gap. That's just the developer really wanting to pack them in and maximize profits. There's no leases. And then for the school district, it's gonna be Melissa ISD, and that's gonna be Mickleip. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mickleip Elementary School. Then there's Melissa Middle School, and then Melissa Ridge Intermediate School, and then there's Melissa High School. Collin College is gonna be the closest like college campus around here. That one's gonna be at that one's just gonna be right off 75 over in McKinney. That's like their main campus too. And then for the commute out of here down to Dallas, 40 minutes. The DFW airport about 35-40 minutes. Fort Worth about an hour away. The high school is only 5 minutes away. The nearest hospital down in McKinney, the medical city, that one's 15 minutes away. And then the nearest grocery store, the Walmart in Anna, is only 10 minutes away. Okay, this is pretty interesting right now. I'm just gonna check this out, because like I said, it's a Sunday, no one's working today. And there's a whole bunch of running water coming from this house. So I have no idea. Let's go check this out. Okay, this could be like really, yep, this is exactly what I thought. See, no one's here, but Dan's here. That, I don't think that's supposed to be happening. So I'm probably gonna go back to the model and yeah, tell them about that, because that is not good. Ooh, not a good look. Oh yeah, okay. This is a K.Dot Hovenen, and it's sold, so. Ooh, not good. Now we're headed to the K.Dot Hovenen model because I don't know what address this is. What street are we on? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out, guys. We're gonna save this home. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's not one of my people. So this is the other thing, guys, too. If you're working with the realtor, are they walking your property? Are they checking it out with you? Or are they just letting you do all the stuff too? Is the builder checking on things? Are they looking at stuff? I am not gonna wanna be part of that conversation when they gotta break the news to that person, because all these other ones are available from Highland Homes, Perry Homes. That's a K.Dot Hovenen. And awkward. So we're gonna head to the model home for them right now, go talk with them and let them know that some stuff's going down over there. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the video so far. I'm gonna head out of here too and show you guys what this area is around, so you guys can get a better idea too. But driving out, really not too bad with things. Like I said, you're right off 121 and 75, so if you do want to go up to like Lake Texoma or Sherman, or maybe you're working up there, easy to hop on that. Or maybe you are going down south into Frisco and those things. All right, let's get back to their model and let's go see that. So that's the other thing I talk with you guys, right? Some of you guys come in and you guys are already building homes, you're already working with your own realtors, and y'all are talking with me on asking me some stuff. First of all, number one thing, if you guys have already signed a buyer agreement and then you're coming to me asking things about whatever, I am not gonna be answering anything. It's not how I really do business. If you already have a signed paper with another realtor, whether that be the realtor from the builder and who they're working with, that's on you. That's literally none of my business. Now, if you don't have something like that and you're looking into builds, now, if you go under contract, of course, you're gonna have a buyer agreement or something. But if you're just looking for stuff, happy to answer anything if you haven't signed with the realtor on anything else. All right, I'm back over here. Let's go tell the peeps. I'll be right back. I got a parallel park. See, if I didn't have to parallel park right now, this could have been way faster. I'd already be inside the house. Oh, this was executed perfectly, Daniel. Oh, great job. All right, BRB. All right, we did it. I talked with her. I'm like, yeah, so there's a lot of water coming out the house. Oh, geez. But hopefully they turn that off. All right, let's head out of the neighborhood and just show you guys kind of the exit out of here, and then what else stuff looks like. But yeah, that happens, guys. So this goes back to my point of, like, you know, are you living out of town? And if you're working with a realtor or you're working with me, you know, and you know, my brokerage, and we work with all the realtors, kind of work with each other, going out and, like, say if one of us is gone, another person can kind of help out and go check on the house if an inspection's about to happen or things like that, or before that comes through, to make sure everything's good before the city comes out and doesn't approve something or things like that, just to help up the process with things. But are you walking your stuff? Are you checking? How often are you checking? I mean, I would, if I was buying a house, right, new construction with things, I'd be out there almost every other week because of stuff like this, guys. Literally stuff like this. In master plan communities, there's so many houses getting built. There was only one sales agent in there. So, like, she's not going to be able to do anything because she has meetings, she has stuff lined up. So she has to contact the builder. The builder has to go out there, has that. So that's the whole thing with that. So are you walking your builds? If you aren't, is your realtor? Because I hope they are, because they're the ones making money. So I hope they're doing something, and just keeping track of stuff. That's the most, like, important thing, and just tracking everything as things get built, because sometimes in these master plan communities, the builders want to go a little bit quicker, and they be forgetting things and leaving gaps here in the floor, leaving certain holes, like like simple things too, like not even connecting, like, lines, water lines to the disposable, or just very basic things that will not pass on an inspection from the city. But all right, so that's yeah, that's kind of crazy that happened, but when in Rome. All right, so now we're headed out of the neighborhood. We're on 121 now. This right now doesn't, I haven't pulled the most recent plans for 121, but there's no plans right now to, like, get this extended further. This kind of breaks down. Now, that could all change here in a little bit, but I'll show you guys how close we are to 75. But they do have gas stations up here. They do have the Starbucks. Then there's some more commercial things along here on this side. I talked with her in there, and I'm like, yeah, the water, it's coming out. She's like, oh, it must have blah, blah. Like, she honestly didn't even know it was framed up. Like, I was telling her, yeah, it was framed, it's framed up. And she's like, oh no. I'm like, yeah, it's framed. She, oh, well, maybe it is. I'm like, yeah, it is. And there's water all over the place. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's gonna need a lot of new stuff. That's gonna be not a good conversation today for K.Hovenen. Yeah, so that goes back to my other point. It's gonna be K.Hovenen, then Highland, and Perry Homes. That's gonna be the order of that. Now, that can happen with anyone, right? Like, at the end of the day, that could have been as easily been a Perry home, a Highland home. Well, it just could have been those two, because that's all that was building in there. So all right, so you kind of go over this bridge here, and then this leads us, this would lead you to the Buc-ee's, to the promised land, and then it would also lead you down into 75, top on there. I'll show you guys that, and then we will be done with this video for the day. Or maybe I'll just keep talking. I'm not quite sure. Alright, so this is what this main area looks like, where it splits off. If you go right here, we kept going a little further into 75, turning right, it takes us into Anna. And then this will lead us right onto 75. This is also the area close where, like, Villages of Hurricane Creek is building. Trinity Falls is not real close to here, but you do take some of the exits around here. So some of those master plan communities are around here. It's just that Melissa's so new, so this is what most of the stuff is going to be looking like right now. It's not new. It's an old city, but it's just now finally getting out to here where you have actual builders like Perry Homes and all those things. Oh, is that a zebra over there? I think that's a zebra. Oh, he's blocking me. Zebra. Hey, zebra. Dang, he didn't wave. He had the duckbill spoiler, and he had an Amuse front bumper. I have just this old whatever front bumper. I used to have that bumper. He didn't wave. It's all right. It's all right. I get it. Okay. Now here is where we're getting on to 75 now. Show you this. This is like the entrance into Melissa. You really feel like you're entering into Melissa once you're driving down 75 because there's this big like barn thing or a silo that says Melissa on it. Actually, I think we'll see it when we turn around here. Or when we curve. So over to the right, I had the camera pointing to the left, but over to the right is where Trinity Falls is, past this tree line and those things. And then here is where you would enter onto 75, and this is where you're going down to Dallas, Frisco, Plano, Lake Louisville, out to those areas to hop on Sam Rayburn. So yeah, 121 splits off there, and then it kind of comes back on this other side. So I'll take this exit. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you have any questions or want to know anything else about Liberty, specifically text me Liberty. I have my number. I also got all my stuff linked down below. If you guys got any questions about Perry Homes, Highland Homes, K.Hovenen, please send me a message. Let me know what other neighborhoods you guys want me to tour. We are less than 400 subscribers away from live streams to where you guys can kind of tell me what you guys want to go look at and do live stream driving. Go around Frisco, Plano, North Texas, Dallas, anywhere really you guys want me to do. But that's going to be at 1,000 subscribers. I'll do that. And then, yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching if you stayed all the way to the end. And just like that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always. Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me, Daniel, at the Home Expert Team. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that, bye.